I'm Michael Bain, and welcome to our very first Triggered of 2025. Still coming to you from the secret hidden bunker in the Rocky Mountains in Dragon House Studios, which is pretty much in the middle of the tundra right now. And I've got two new things to show you this week. And the first one was a surprise. This is the Ruger RXM. That is a collaboration between Ruger and MagPul, which is easily one of the greatest, most respected companies in the business. And when I first opened the box, I got this just before Christmas. I thought, it's a G19. It's a Glock G19. And then as I spent some time with a friend of mine, we took this thing apart and looked at it, said, no, this is a brilliant gun. The RXM, Ruger handles all the metal parts, the slides, all nitrided. And then MagPul made this enhanced pistol grip. This may be the best pistol grip I've ever felt. This is a grip frame that I would have if I designed a grip frame. Everything about it is absolutely excellent. Sitting on top of it is, once again, you expect quality from Ruger. You have quality from Ruger. This gun, 4-inch barrel, comes with higher sights, night sight in the front, and inside the frame is a cradle. They call it their fire control insert. So you can take that cradle out, and we're going to show you how to do that in the next segment, and then move it to a different grip frame. Let's say you want one that's G17 in length, or you want one that's G26 in length. I think we're going to see that and more from MagPul. They're already offering a couple of different grip frames for this gun. Extended magazine release saves you the trouble of putting one in. Slightly extended slide release saves you the trouble of putting in one of the Vickers. The trigger on this gun, absolutely excellent flat trigger. Now, when I got this gun, I compared it to what I think of as my Uber Glock. This is my Uber Glock. I built this gun up, old scrap frame that went to Bill Wilson to be rebuilt, Wilson combat barrel. You can see it's mounted with a Steiner and closed optic sight. Backup iron sights. That is an Overwatch precision trigger, which I think is one of the best Glock triggers made. You know what? This trigger, out of the box, just as good. Now, I've mounted it with something new as well. This is a Trijicon RCR enclosed emitter sights. It fits into the RMR footprint. It also has the same deck height as the RMR. Now, how do you put an enclosed emitter sights on an RMR footprint? Well, segment 3, we're going to show you that as well. Stay with us, lots more here. This week's Triggered is brought to you by Rossi, the legend continues. Stoger, everyday tough. Hunter's HD Gold, they change so you don't have to. MTM Case Guard, quality shooting sports accessories. And Ed Brown, the best money can buy for over 50 years. Welcome back to Triggered. A couple of other quick points on the RXM. Comes with two 15-round MagPul magazines, and it disassembles very much the same as a Glock, which means you're going to make sure it's empty. You're going to pull the trigger, and then you're going to slightly come back on the frame and pull down on these little sharp things that'll cause your hands to like fall apart. And now you've got the upper, the slide. Obviously, you're all familiar with how this works. And you've got the frame and its cradle. We have 3 pins, actually 2 pins, and the slide release itself have to come out for us to remove the fire control unit. And pretty simple. If you've got a bench block, or more likely if you've got a roll of duct tape, work just as well. Tap out first the locking block pin itself. And reach around, pull it clear. All right. Okay. Next part is kind of the pain in the butt part. To remove the slide release itself, you're just going to push down on one side of the slide release and then push it out from the other side. Usually this works pretty smoothly. Sometimes it genuinely doesn't work pretty smoothly and it becomes a massive pain. But this one's gone pretty smoothly. It might help to have a little pair of pliers to reach in, pull it out, drop it in there. And if you can see it right here, there's a little bitty spring. That's the slide release spring. Don't lose that. If you do lose it, you can come look in my office on the rug, and I'm sure you can find 5 or 6 of them from Glocks. The other thing we have to remove here is the actual takedown pin itself. We're going to push in here, look around, find something right about right for the takeout pin, and once again, tap, 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 tap. I've got a small thing here. That pops right out into your roll of duct tape. Now, to remove this, what Ruger suggests, you're going to have to do a little prying, a little pulling, get this front end up here. And see as it starts to come up there. And then it's a matter of just coming up, popping it out. Since we're going to put it right back together, I'm going to just put it right back together. Stay with us, because when we come back, we're going to show you something else unique about the RXM. How you can mount a red dot sight and not use any adapter plates.
You know the RIA 5.0 packs radically new innovations, but we didn't stop there. Introducing the RIA 5.0E. The E stands for enhanced, as in new optics cuts and plates. The updated barrel is crafted with improved materials and slide geometry. The look and feel is also enhanced. Plus, new lightning cuts show off the updated match grade barrel. Experience the enhanced RIA 5.0E today.
Now we're going to install a red dot sight, and that's one of the ways that the RXM is very interesting. Very interesting, because it doesn't come with a bunch of adapter plates. Instead, it comes with little bitty, teeny tiny pins. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off the plate. This will allow us to go ahead and mount a red dot sight. Pretty straightforward. Ruger provides the torque wrench, or the torque spec wrench here that we Torx wrench that we use to take this apart. Once again, very handy, using the highly technical roll of duct tape. You see, now when you look in here, you see a whole bunch of little holes. And that's because different sight systems have different hole placement. Now, typically, we're going to install an RCR. Now, this is a Trigicon, like an RMR, but it's got an enclosed emitter. And Trigicon actually did something really interesting with this sight, the way it sets in, unlike any other sight. So you know that when you put in here, you're going to need pins in these upper holes here. And boy, oh boy, these are small. But they'll go here, 2 of them. And then on the other side there, you can see those 2 pins. Let's see if, yep. You'll see now that's exactly how the Trigicon mounts. Now here's what gets interesting with the Trig. It's an enclosed emitter sight. However, you can install the screws in a standard RMR drilled setup. And I've never done it before. So we're going to go ahead and give it a try. It comes with the Trigicon will come with several different screws that are going to work here in, well, I believe this would be the Trigicon position. And what you would do is you maybe put that first screw in and then you slip, if you can. Well, actually, that's the way Trijicon says to do it, and it won't work. Or it will work, but it'll be a little bit harder. So what you're going to need to do, actually, is put these two little screws in, and you'll notice they have holes in them. And you're going to actually take a wrench and tighten the screw down with using the little holes. It's different. And in there like that. Then we're going to set it here, and we're then going to attempt to take the wrench, and it'll go in here like this, We're tightening it down. It's kind of a ratcheting type setup here. And it's patented and unlike any other one I've ever worked with. So we'll see if that works. Yeah, it does. It just takes a bit. Now I'm going to screw these in to show you how it fits. But what I will do afterwards is I will take everything apart and I will put Loctite on it. And that will be, I think it's Loctite 243 that we would use on this. And then the Loctite itself will need to dry overnight, because Loctite, when you put it on, a lot of people say, okay, I Loctited the sight, I couldn't wait to take it out and shoot it. Well, Loctite before it sets is a lubricant. So I will guarantee you it will come loose. Now this is really kind of an interesting thing here with their patented system. You're thinking, boy, we really need to torque those little screws down. Well, absolutely. We do need to torque those little guys down. And the way we're going to do that is Trijicon provides you with a handy chart, which I've never used before, for torquing the mounting screws. So the way we're going to do that is this. Here is your amazing Trijicon device for torquing. This will go right in here, and you can see we're a little sideways here. You just put that in there, and then you put the wrench, also the hex wrench, in here, and then we're going to tighten it until roughly, according to the chart, we're almost there actually, right about there. So it gives you a measure for both sides. You just use this, and then right about here where we are is where it'll be correctly torqued. So there you got that set up. It's pretty straightforward. Can you actually use a co-witness there? No, unfortunately. You can use a co-witness on a lot of other sites, but with this particular site from Trijicon, it sets up still higher, even though there's not an adapter plate on it. It sets up high enough that the sights here on the Ruger are not going to co-witness. So now, like I said, pull this off. We'll put some Loctite on it, and then we'll let it sit overnight before we start shooting it. Then we're going to lose all these small parts. Okay, we've got lots more shooting to do with the RXM. We'll be doing that in another episode. But I have to say, as it stands right here, the RXM may replace my Uber Glock, or one of my other Glock 19 that's been with me through a number of classes, number of USPSA competitions. I love the gun. It remains to be seen whether I love this, the most expensive red dot sight in America. I'm Michael Bain. You can find anything we talked about here on michaelbain.tv. You can find us also on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. We'd rather you find us on Rumble, because Rumble likes us, and you can find us along with the entire world on X. We'll see you next week.